We are the on the set. This is Wolfgang Amadeus, set in the West. What's up? I've been out of commission since the damn taste of soul. The taste I had to taste the trolls. What's up, y'all? Yeah, I've been out of commission. I was under the weather. I still recovering. It's people around here with the C19. They got some C25 now. Straight up. What's up, Jim Brown? What's up, Makia? Um, Auntie Lee in the building. Appreciate you. Um, Yom J. What's up? Martha. What's up? Ron Smith. Fluffy. What's up? Ron Smith, A.K. Fluffy. Alina. Hey. What's up, y'all? Patricia Blair. I appreciate y'all in the building coming through, just saying what's up. I didn't even really have anything really to say. What's up, Lauren Speaks? Appreciate you. I didn't have too much to say. I just was like, let me hit the line. I still have a lot of other production stuff I got to do, producing things. Damn it. So I'm fine. Everything is good. Just make sure that everybody stocks up on their vitamin C and zinc and just B vitamins, all that good stuff. Like eliminate a lot of crap. Don't go to the market and buy a bunch of stuff that has all these other preservatives and stuff, and it mess your system up. And I know a lot of people is mad now because they ain't getting their food stamps. So uh, I guess that's the thing. People are they are upset because the food stamps ain't hitting for Thanksgiving. So they saying it's about to be some real live Thanksgiving. I know somebody. I got somebody in my family that just the EBT queen and got all the snacks and all the whole. She weigh a good 500, and she got all the snacks, all the Suzy Q's, all the old school Twinkies. The she got the Suzy Q's when they had the banana Suzy Q's. She got all the snacks and got one damn fruit. And if you do got some fruit, it's Alizé or something. What's up, Jag?
What's going on? Something interesting's happening. I don't have green screen option.
They removed it from your option. What?
Hold on a second.
Yeah, Scotty Jag
Yeah,
changing my
no,
time.
I don't have it
Oh,
here.
they getting real.
Oh no,
Well,
oh
I
they
guess.
changed the way the icon looks. Okay.
Oh, okay. I was about to say everything's getting stripped away, just like food stamps is getting stripped away. They stripping away the green screen option. I'm like, man, I thought it was about to be chaos because
No, it's
yeah,
different. It's different than what it was.
yeah, they change out the interface from time to time. I know that they're doing like updates and stuff too. Windows 10 is no longer supported, so that factors in. So they can move around and do certain things. Remember, I was explaining to you about these new chips that's coming through. These new a whole lot of stuff about to change, y'all. Like I'm gonna tell you like this, and people already been saying it, but social media ain't gonna be social media. We need to stay centered and love ourselves. Yeah, that's right, Lauren. Speak for real. But let me go back before I even move forward with that. I'm sorry, y'all. Oh God, why?
Oh, that's the
Why?
wrong picture.
Why?
That's the wrong picture. Hold on a second. I'm looking for the right
What game is this? Um, was it Akshay Natara? What's up? I'm trying to read this. I'm sorry if I can't pronounce your name. I'm getting over being sick. Martha, what's up? Uh, Auntie Leah in the building, appreciate you. Yeah, look, back to what I was saying about the EBT queen. Um, but the funny thing is I'm looking at how propaganda is being pushed like just blatantly in your face right now because as soon as they make the announcement like, oh, you got EBT, you're not going to receive benefits in November because of the government shutdown. And immediately you go to these social media, and these could be AI because a lot of you can look at this AI stuff now, and people you will think it's legit. I saw Tupac performing in Puerto Rico, and I'm like, this probably is really Pac, but I know it ain't Pac. But you got racist people who make black characters, and they be saying all kind of stuff. Or you got people that are just paid actors. Because I literally saw the moment they made that announcement about the EVP shutdown, it was black women complaining and saying, we going to go in the stores and we just going to take it. And y'all ain't about to mess up my Thanksgiving. And but like, it was like part of the, I don't, what part of the game is this? I literally was just like, nah, this is a psyop. Like, this is straight up. Like, this is a psyop. Come on, y'all. Y'all really got it. Us thinking, like, it's just black women that's on EBT when majority of welfare recipients are white, quote unquote, white people. So it's going to affect them. So this is going to affect Trump. Like, well, Trump's not going to get reelected, but just like the stimulus, well, yeah, it was a stimulus package, right? Did that come out? Wasn't it in relation to the C-19 situation, right? It was a stimulus thing, that money wise, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, if Trump would have just released the funds the second time, I think, because he did it once, right? If he'd have just released it the second time, he would have got reelected. But that's from reports. This situation here is not just going to affect black people. I'm gonna just keep it a buck, and it's really just about poor people, and you got more poor whites than you got more poor blacks in this country. I'm not
Mm-hmm.
talking about statistics and nothing like that. That's just the reality of it. So a lot of people, the cost of living has gone up. The wages in this country have not gone up. Everything pretty much costs. You talk about bread, you talk about gas to get you to take the kids to school, you talk about daycare, all everything. Everything has gone up. And a lot of people need to be on some type of SNAP, which is what is it? Supplemental nutritional uh, accessible program. Is that what it's called? That's why it was called SNAP and EBT. And the majority of these people are fellow
Oh, snap.
Caucasian.
That was an acronym?
Yeah, that's what it's called, SNAP.
See,
Yeah, food stamps were originally for farmers. Yeah, yeah, and that's why I was trying to say
you want to know
earlier.
what I find funny? I
Go
don't know
ahead.
about none of them government programs.
Yeah, I try to. I got screwed over one time, and I said I'm cool. I don't need it. Like if I need it, unemployment, so I'll get it. But in all honesty, I'll be like, man, I'll figure it out because it will put you in a vice grip, and that's a perfect segue to talk about what's going on with the NBA. But let me really walk slow to that conversation. But anything dealing with the government, like handouts per se, um, we were always taught to just not really mess with it. My dad was always like, "Yeah, don't mess with that stuff." You know what I'm saying? Um, you could collect aluminum cans. You know what I'm saying? Not like that, but yeah, like just don't mess with it. That's what he was saying. He always
I
like
had a
told me.
cousin once who quit her job working at a law firm. She was working in the mailroom and they wanted to give her a raise and they wanted to up her and everything and she got the raise and then the next thing you know, they said gonna have to give up your benefits because of how much money you making, and your Section 8 gonna go up, and all of this and all of that. And
As it
she
should.
she quit her job.
Okay, I'm gonna try this because I asked Shay. She said respectfully, Odell, is it a handout? Uh, if it's money and you and your forefathers have paid already taxes for stuff. Let me do this.
Let me answer that because I don't think you should.
No, I was gonna do a poll, but that thing went away. Where'd that poll thing go?
Oh, the poll thingy, they got it back.
Yeah, oh man, now it looks like Tyrese. Okay, here we go. Let me. Okay, there it is, right there.
Okay,
Let me try the Q&A thing, right? Your favorite? No, I don't want to do your favorite. Uh, you go ahead and answer. Let me ask a question though.
okay. So Akshaya, this is how I feel about it. If it has to be issued to you by the government, it's a handout, regardless of whose taxes paid for it, regardless of what it is. The government considers it a handout. They consider it them doing you a favor, and they keep a tally, and they keep a record, and they wait to use it to hold it against you. I'm not saying that people need to be ashamed because I know people, for crying out loud, who've been on benefits as long as I've known them. I know people who are handicapped. I know people who've gone through all kinds of things. And I think, you know, to a certain extent, it can be good. But what I will say is for people who are not like 60 and up, it's a handicap in the system. It's a handicap in the system, and it's a way for them to be able to instruct you on how to live. They get to tell you, because see, it's not like you get this money for crying out loud. I saw somebody on TikTok and she was complaining because she wasn't allowed to buy cookies and snacks and stuff like that for her kids because at any given time they can change the protocol of what you can use it for. Now, if someone is giving you something and you get to do whatever with it you choose to do with it, that's one thing. But if someone gets to dictate everything that you do with it, if they get to say, hey, you have to eat here, you can't eat there, you have to shop here, you can't shop there, you can only buy this, you can't have that, you can get this kind of meal, you can't get that. Like, that's somebody controlling you.
Yep, I'm in agreement.
That's somebody
So
controlling you. And then, it creates a certain mindset as to I'm owed this. This is what I'm owed. This is what I'm this. This is what I'm that. And I think when it comes to that conversation, in my opinion, don't nobody owe nobody nothing. Anything that can be set up to the point where they can take it away from you and you don't have a say, it's not owed to you. Like
right,
if it's owed to you, then they shouldn't be able to just take it away whenever they want. They shouldn't be able to just get it when you know how they see this, that, and you know what I mean. I think when people hear the word handout, they instantly become offended because of the way we talk to each other in society, and you hear people and pull yourself up by your own bootstraps and yada 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 whoopty whoopty woo. Listen to me, Pat Blair. God bless you, because I know I ain't never getting a Social Security check. See, I know that. I ain't never gonna see a Social Security check, not one day in my life. And do you want to know when I figured that out? When I was a kid. after the SNL scandal hit. After George W. and his friend Mr. Rumsfeld and all of them decided that they was going to rob the Fed. And they did. They did. They robbed the Fed and they created a deficit that ain't never been made up. Am I wrong? I don't think I'm wrong on it. It ain't never been made up. I've known since before I was able to drink at a bar that there was never going to be no Social Security for my generation or so on and so forth. We ain't getting it. We ain't getting it. It ain't going to happen. So, all I can say is you can't miss what you never had. I've never taken a dime for real from the government. Like, never. I don't do government subsidy. I don't do government, like, none of that. Like, none of that. Listen to me. My kid, they stole in the upwards of like damn near $1 billion. And this was back in the 80s. In the 80s. And then the next thing you know, the Iran Contra scandal happened and then all that stuff went down with Gaddafi. And then they did this and they did that. And then people went up on the hill and got a slap on the wrist. And it was like nobody ever talked about it ever again. They still don't talk about it. My sound is going in and out. Okay, can everybody hear me okay? Hello? I'm not sure what's going on. I'm not sure where our host is going. I hope my sound isn't going in and out too bad. Maybe I'm talking too much real stuff. You know how it is when I get to talking some real stuff. They don't like me talking the real stuff. They strip me of my rights to control me and all my medical care because they do what they want to do. They say what they want to say. They make it go down how they want to make it go down. And that's just the world we live in, you know. So I always say to people, just that's why I rely on God. I rely in and on God. I try to live in the God mindset, and I try to exist by the principle because I'm telling you, man, the government they're gonna do whatever they want to do. The government give it and the government take it away. But when I watch how these people is getting online and my food stamps and you gonna do this and you don't nobody see what's going on. They are trying to make people trip. They're trying to make people trip. Everything that we see going on, everything that's going on, it's all to create social unrest. All of it. They really food stamps. They want to go after the food stamps. Exactly, manufactured chaos. They want to go after food stamps right before the holidays. Why didn't they do it this summer? If they knew that that's how it was going to go, why didn't they do it this summer? Want to know why? Because they wanted everybody spending all of that money for holiday season, for this, that, and the third, and so on, so. Like everything that they do, it's by design. It's organized. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. I don't get it. I don't understand it. But this is what they doing, and it's wild. And to all the people out there doing these posts talking about how they gonna start stealing and they gonna start doing this. I'm about to start asking people, did you get paid? I'm about to start asking people, did you get paid? Because I don't think these people are doing these posts because they're genuine. I think people are paying them to do this crazy stuff. That's what I think. Because sitting there bragging about how you're going to commit a crime with all of the law enforcement and all of the stuff that's being like people talking about, I ain't paying no money for no turkey. I better be able to get a turkey with food stamps and all of that stuff. Like, I don't think any of that's real. And what I don't like is the fact that it's only black people that you see making these posts. Plenty of white people get food stamps too. You do not see them making these posts. Why don't we see any of the white women saying, by damn golly gee wow, I am not sending my granddaddy's coin collection to pay. Like, you don't hear them saying none of this stuff. You don't hear this coming from no white people. Why? I don't understand. I don't know. But it ain't coming from them. You don't hear them talking about how they ain't spending no money, to get the ingredients for their strawberry rhubarb pie. You don't hear them talking about pumpkin pie, shortages. You don't hear them talking about none of that stuff. Like, I'm just trying to figure it out. It's almost like the little black babies that they have, AI in them, got them looking crazy, doing all kinds of cursing and stuff like that. You don't see them doing this with the white babies. Why don't the white
My,
babies cussing and hollering active?
my bad, Jack. I'm just now catching up to what you were saying. I'm always on the phone with attorneys. That was an attorney, so I'll get back at you about that. Um, yeah, you talking about AI and you talking about what how racist AI is? Is that what we're talking about as far as how they're running their play
No, what
with
we're talking
AI?
about is all of this negative propaganda being done about black and brown people complaining
Oh
about not
yeah.
having no food stamps when there's more white people that get food stamps than black and brown people. And why ain't none of the white people making any of these posts talking about what they gonna do if they don't get their food stamps this month and how
Right.
they gonna go and loot and boot and rally and how much beer they gonna buy and how
Right.
they gonna sit out there in front of the Walmart and they gonna rob the whole Walmart. Like, why don't we see any of that?
Yeah. No, no, no. Real spill. That's what I was about to say. Look, these people have to be actors or it has to be AI
That's what I
for
said. I said I believe that most of
someone.
the people doing those posts is getting paid. That's what I said.
Yeah, they're getting paid because it don't make any sense. Like if you're gonna do it, you're not just gonna get online. Well, a lot of people are dumb enough to just get online right now and announce what they're gonna do. You're right. But if you're gonna do it, just do it. If you saying my baby's not gonna starve, then okay. Well, how about go find a side hustle too. Anyway, I don't want to go too deep, but I know someone was asking about um, my take. Well, about government assistance. Like if you really need it, like if you're homeless, and see even assistance when it comes to homeless, like the government ain't really gonna help you. I'm gonna keep it a buck. They're not gonna help you. They they need the homeless people, and they need the homeless people to be out on display to show the working poor. If you stop working, this is where you will be. So you'll
Right.
see you in a major city, you'll see homeless people, and that's visible. And there's for every homeless person, there's like 9 homes that we could put a person in. So the homeless situation could be solved easy. It could just be a situation where the government say, all right, well, if you don't have a house, we'll put you up for like 3 months, and try to get a job or this or that. Like and I know that's more like if you think about it, it's more like on some communist stuff, but it can help. But no, they want the visible homeless out there to be seen so the working poor can look and be like, oh, I ain't trying to be like them. And then you got the ones who's a little bit above the working poor, it's almost like a pecking order. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, well, yeah. For LA, the Olympics for sure. That's a whole other conversation. Alina, you're right. But it's a pecking order. It's like shit, you know. Almost kind of like, and we could talk about it later. like what you were talking about in regards to when you were at America's Future and you were on the panel with that young lady and the unfortunate stuff that happened to her. How it was like, y'all don't want this to happen to you, right? Like, I don't want to go too deep into that, but it is almost like that, y'all. You there, Jack? I can't hear you.
Oh, I'm here.
Um, Let me get rid of this. I don't know. I was trying to figure out this little Q&A stuff. It ain't working. Um, I appreciate the
No, I
dollar
mean you
ninety
just have
nine.
to do the other thing. You have to go the other way.
I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out. Yeah, yeah. I appreciate y'all hyping and like this video and we appreciate y'all. We'll get on with the conversation too. Um, I'm sorry, I got interrupted because I had to take care of some business. But yeah, we're gonna get that process going. We'll talk about it afterwards, Jag, about that. But
Is it looking good? I think I know what
they,
it's talking to.
they're looking. We'll see. We'll see what if they. You know how some people are, man. They just don't. Straight up, you know how it is. If it's too much, then it's just too much. But it looks like
Mm,
they'll let us know something Monday, Tuesday. So
okay.
anyway, yeah, we were talking and we didn't even really get into the conversation that we were getting into, but it's all
You
good. I
didn't have a
appreciate that.
chance, so
No, 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 I appreciate that. No, it's really like whatever y'all want to talk about, we could talk about. I know people were in there like, oh, they were concerned or they didn't see us for a few days. Like I said, I was sick. We were also doing, research, recon on a bunch of stuff. Yeah, justice for Rymir. I heard some um, good things about his situation. And
they were
speaking of
worried
lawyers,
about us.
I think so, yeah. Speaking of
Mm.
lawyers, I know his godmother or aunt is on it, and I know Rymir's case ain't necessarily really going nowhere, but him doing it by himself, trust me, I know how it is to handle legal stuff on your own. It ain't easy. But it looks like I think he's gonna get that right, those right resources to help him push through. So don't trip. Also on the other front with that case, um, it looks like Busby has um, done a bunch of things in regards to getting stuff um, knocked off his plate. Other suits that were, uh, uh, I think Jay Z was suing him, right? Um,
Well, it wasn't just Jay-Z. Jay-Z had different bad
Other
actors
people,
who work
yeah,
inside of Quinn Emanuel to
yeah,
go and to try to gaslight people into filing suits against him. While they were filing suits against him, there were five different suits against Tony Busby, and they have now all been dismissed.
yeah. So I always say it, and we say it at KBLA, when we fight, we win, and that's a real spill. You know, wanted to do a poll. We're talking about food stamps. It didn't go. It didn't work. I don't know why it didn't work, Martha, but it's all good.
You
Again,
picked the wrong option. You have to pick the other option.
I'll figure it out. I ain't gonna try to figure it out right now. But I was always saying, people, when we get back to the food stamp situation, I was saying this before the summer, like start growing your food. Like I literally was setting up to like we should have some type of garden. Um, I own a plot of land and I ain't been on my business, but I'm about to get on my business and I'm about to start growing. Because to be honest, I think Jim Brown and I don't, yeah, don't get it twisted. 'Cause I respect Jim Brown. Jag, you know, it is the reason why I say that because people, uh, people know what Jim Brown was about, right? But Jim Brown said some good, prominent things. Uh, Shout out to the other BGS, Bobby Glanton Smith. I met him when I was working at Roscoe Media Center, and I got a few books from him, got some game from him. And the main thing I took away from that is you can't lead people if you can't feed people. So You can look at Yeshua. He fed people. What they say the analogy about the what is it, the fish and the bread, right? Um,
Now it's an
or
analogy. Why couldn't it have been real?
I see everything that I read. I'm not saying that it wasn't real, but for my mind's eye, I take it as an analogy. Sometimes, that could be a factual thing that happened. I'm not saying it didn't happen, but I'm just saying, listen to what he's saying about him taking what was it 40 fish. um, I say analogy meaning if you have wisdom to impart on people too,
See,
you
this is the
feed them with
thing. What
wisdom
he
or
said
not.
was is that he had fish and loaves of bread.
Fish and loaves of bread and
Two
fed.
big fish. He had two fish and loaves of bread. Nobody's paying attention to the size of the fish that were caught that they used. Nobody's paying attention to any of that, but it's cool.
So again, see, this is why I don't do religious talk a lot of times because you want to divide, you want to piss somebody off. You can talk about religion. You can talk about
Politics.
politics. Or if you're black, just talk about their mama. That's three, right? Um, I don't really get into the religion thing. Like I said, I'm more Gnostic, meaning, and not Gnostic to where I think there's a thing where it's like, you know, the God of the Bible is really the devil. I'm not that type of. I'm talking about just more of a like. I would probably draw more to the not probably. I do draw more to the Coptic Bible with the book of Apocrypha and all those other books that are taken out of the Canaanite Bible. So I'm not just gonna, and I'll study pretty much everything, but I know what's true, I know what's real, in my opinion. But I said the analogy meaning you could feed people with knowledge, you could feed people with wisdom, and I was saying feed, you can't lead unless you can feed. But let's get back to what I was saying about this government and the missing money that's supposed to be allocated for SNAP or food stamps or EBT. It seems like it's a program. I was expressing to you earlier about how even the news, even as a kid, I hated the news because I was like, why the news came on? Thundercats was just on, and I was looking at Silverhawks, and I was looking at the Jetsons, and then this freaking news is on. I hated the news, but the news is a program and it's to keep you at a negative vibration. When you look at even the word government, govern, control, mente, mind, um, we just got to start giving each other the right information to help each other um, grow and feed each other. So, like, perfect place in LA, if you live in LA, a lot of people have fruit trees in the back. They grow stuff in their backyard. If your whole entire block is all connected, y'all could just, y'all ain't got to worry about no EBT. It's like Miss Mark over here got the squash, and Sally over here got the potatoes, and this one got the sweet potatoes, and Jose may even got some chickens. Like you can get stuff popping, but you can't like have straight up livestock in your backyard like that. But you can have something. You can have a small farm, even though they're all it's illegal. But you can have enough to grow something for that'll last you a couple of weeks or something like that. Like we just got to get out of this mindset of like you know, um, you know, going to the store or just, like you just got to get it at it's stuff got to be changed around. That's all I'm really saying. Um, and I ain't got the answers. I'm just saying I know the way this administration is moving is they're shrinking the government. It's not about expansion of the government. The Democrats were expanding the government. They're shrinking it. They're shrinking the government. So if you know that's what they're about, then don't expect certain things to be available. Real still.
Almost 100 years ago, American civilization was doing pretty well. They were making all kinds of advancements, and then something happened. A crash happened, and the country went into absolute destitute, uh, desolate.
By by design.
Um, Funny if you look at in the 1800s, something similar happened then too. It seems like almost
Mhm.
every 100 years,
Yep.
something like this happens.
Yep. Yep.
So I think what people need to realize is as we're approaching the late 20s, you need to ask yourself what's important to you. Like we're watching all kinds of stuff going on and we're watching all kinds of people and we're not paying attention to the fact that people have become so wasteful with money, the stuff that's important to us, the stuff that we throw ourselves into, you know, people are sitting there talking about Rihanna's company and how it's losing money and now people want to pull out of the company and what's going to happen to that. And the thing is if there is another stock market crash, are you really going to be worried about designer clothes? Or are you going to be worried about how to feed your family? Are you going to be worried about how to keep them warm if you live in a region where it gets very cold? Like, what are you going to be thinking about? Are you going to be worried about that fur coat? Or is that fur coat going to become a blanket that covers your children up? Like, you know what I mean? There's a lot of stuff that's happening in the world, and we have become, you know, we've just become a little bit too dependent on throwing our money away to fit into society rather than worrying about whether or not we're going to be able to be a thriving part of it when all else fails. Salute to the city of Dungeons and Dragons.
Well, that's all right. How about now? Should be better,
Much
right?
better. Much better.
Yeah, because you know how that. I swear, and I'm not gonna ask for a donation like some of these bums on YouTube do. I'm gonna get some new headsets. I really need to leave these headsets alone. I sound better this way anyway. Um, but yeah, no, we can't be dependent on this old paradigm. There's a lot of new stuff happening, and then when you said something about Rihanna and LV8, was it LVHM? Is that what it's called? The company that owns half of
LV,
her
LVMH, the Louis Vuitton
LVMH.
Corporation,
Yeah, they own half of her company, and that speaks
and Rock
volumes.
Nation.
Oh, and yeah, and Rock Nation, that speaks volumes. I'm telling you, look, I said it 2 weeks ago, and look, don't get it twisted. I'm not afraid of any of these motherfuckers. I'm gonna just say it like I see it because I said it from the jump. I was like, oh, I think the Super Bowl or NFL is gonna be done with Rock Nation. And 2 weeks later, it pops up. And I was just going off of like what I talked about, Jack. Remember, we were saying how this whole thing about Bad Bunny and the politicization, and I was like, I don't think the NFL really wants that. But they're doing it, and it's like, oh wow, okay. So I think some of the move, like, don't get it twisted. Certain people pay attention at the top. They pay attention at what moves certain people make, and I think a lot of people are moving away from Jay Z and his dealings, business wise. That's what I think. Like I said, I ain't hating on him or nothing like that. That's what I think. I think certain people are just moving away from, oh, if you're attached to him, we about to bag up. That's what I think, and I'm not. That's what. But you look at what's going on. That's why when I mentioned the Busby situation, and we're mentioning the Rihanna thing, and yeah, they own half of Rock Nation too. That speaks volumes. Um, sports, sports betting. Now, I'm not a better. I really don't. Remember, we was in Vegas and I was so mad. I think we lost like a couple $100. Like I don't like. I don't even play the lotto like that. You get what I'm saying?
I don't ever
Um,
remember you betting at all. I don't ever remember us gambling at all.
we did. I think
No,
we had like $200 and
no,
was an Angelo. Remember
I don't think so.
with Angelo?
I
You
remember
don't remember?
Angelo said, I remember Angelo was trying to get at the tables, but I don't think we ever did.
No, it wasn't at the tables. It was what was it? I think you was at slot. I did try to do the poker thing, and I was that's just
Oh
like
yeah,
I ain't trying to figure this out.
I don't consider slots gambling. So yeah,
Oh, okay. Well, I do. I do.
yeah,
Say penny slots. No, no, no. But no, I'm just saying I'm not a gambler like that. But what I'm saying is,
gambling to me is sitting down at the table, putting that
well, maybe
money up, and
one day maybe I'll do it if since I'm getting better at spades. I wish they had some gambling for spades or some dominoes because I'd be oof. They had me locked up
a
for
mess.
some spades or some dominoes.
So let's talk about this gambling.
Well, they should have before I talk about gambling, they should have a tournament where you get the bag on somebody and talk ish about them and play dominoes or spades and just that I think that would be that'd be comedy. And then you can have people bet like who's gonna win. But I don't want to do that because then we talk about this situation with the sports. That's what's getting a lot of people in trouble. Um, that's the big thing. I didn't even know it was that big until I looked up and I was just like, whoa, how many people were involved in this investigation? The FBI and there's other agencies involved, not only just the FBI. They're conducting a crackdown in illegal gambling that's tied to NBA players, coaches, and the mafia. And it's called Operation Royal Flush.
Hmm.
And the reports they say there are dozens of individuals, players, coaches, assistants, and gamblers that have been directly tied or they've been indicted or they're under investigation for activities ranging from like rigging the bets on NBA games to high stake poker operations. So, one of the central allegations manipulation of bets via um, inside information, collusion using luxury poker games, or private venues to facilitate illegal sports wagering. So the problem that a lot of people are talking about now, especially online, is they're plastering the people of color because Chauncey Billups was put out there. They mentioned LeBron, but then they're holding back on that still. I just saw something with Kevin Garnett. They're just putting all these players out there. And what about the Genovese and the Gambinos and the other families? The because there was a network of criminal organizations. Don't get it twisted. There's still mafia. Hold on. There's still mafia connections uh, with this whole thing too, because this came up. I saw this not long ago, actually today, where they said that the mafia returns to the center stage an NBA betting scandal that includes rigged poker games. So I'll go into this article just briefly. But what's going on is, like I said, they're not really speaking on the fact that it's more than just NBA players, coaches, and things of that nature that are involved in this situation. So they said decades after the crackdown by prosecutors decimated the ranks of the New York Mafia, the indictment of an NBA coach, a player, and nearly 3 dozen others in a betting scandal highlighted the mob's presence and adaptability to changing times and technology. So four of New York crime, I'm sorry, four of the five New York crime families allegedly
Mm-hmm.
participated in a sophisticated rigging of high stakes poker games that one investigator said were reminiscent of a Hollywood movie. The mobsters were accused of pocketing some 7 millions uh, that was fleeced from unsuspecting victims who were drawn on poker tables in Las Vegas, Miami, uh, Manhattan, and Long Island's East Side playground for the rich and the famous. So the former federal prosecutor Epner said the indictments offered a reminder that La Costa Nostra, and that's called our thing, because I took Latin. I just know Cosa is Latin, and it means thing. Nostra is like us. Is a very real thing, and like any organization that has been attacked, the mob is just adjusted. So I'll stop right there. They're focusing on the well, no, I don't know the mafia history like that. I don't know it. Like I'm just reading. I'm reading. Um, I know enough because I told you one of one of my grandpa's cousins drove for freaking Al Capone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a whole nother. I'll tell y'all about that later. That's a whole nother conversation. But the mafia did do nothing but adjust. Vegas, it's not too far from LA. It has always been the mafia's uh, playground. The LAPD and LA never allowed the mafia into LA like that. Now there was a mafia hangout spot that I know of, and
There
not
was a
because I
few.
was there.
There were a few
Well, yeah,
mafia
well, there were
hangout
a few. There
spots.
were a few.
One of them, a young man named Ron Goldman used to work at it, was a restaurant
Is that Petaluma?
when he was dealing with O.J. Simpson's
Petaluma?
belated.
Yep,
What
yep.
it's so funny how everyone always forgot about the fact that allegedly Ron Goldman was not only a maitre d,
Mezzaluma. Yeah, there
mezzaluma,
you go.
yeah,
I'm
um,
sorry.
was not just a maitre d there, but allegedly he was supposed to be moving around some snow in the warm climate, helping people's nostrils keep warm at all times of the year, and that him and Nicole were
He was a
currently coordinating.
he was a slope instructor. He was on
You
the
know,
wasn't he?
yeah.
The ski
So
slopes.
I just always thought it was funny that they didn't bother to investigate anything into that when it came time to look into why they were so heinously unalived, or the serial unaliver groundskeeper that was there working.
Right.
There were so many different aspects to what happened to them.
They
I
went right to
mean,
OJ.
yeah, this is the thing. When the mafia got cut out of running Las Vegas, because make no mistake about it, the mafia ran
Yeah.
Las Vegas.
Yep.
And I'm not saying that to be cute. I'm not saying that to sound popular. I'm saying it because I know that to be true. Anyone who thinks that I was lying about Angelo Minerci, who he was or who he was attached to, or that I didn't know anything about what was going on with the Gambino families or the Banana families or any of that stuff, especially after my family ties to Atlantic City, all of the stuff that was going on. I mean, I don't spend a lot of time talking about it because the truth is, there's no point in it. It's
Right.
ghost history, and it's ghost history for a reason.
Yep.
What I don't understand is why people thought when they ran the mafia out of Las Vegas that they were just going to roll over and die and not evolve. That's what they do. They
Yeah.
evolve,
They
they
do.
adapt, and they evolve. So once again, here we are. Um, and the truth
Not to
is, of
cut you.
course, mhm,
Not to cut you. Keep please. put a pin on what you just were about to say. I just want to say something real quick.
Well,
I'm
go
gonna say
ahead.
shout out to Sophia Stewart. She was just on Sean Kelly's podcast, and she was talking about that as far as when she got to Vegas in the 90s, because I think she got out to Vegas real early. And she was saying before the mafia got ran out, they were looking at turning this into Vegas into like the Hollywood. Because LA is, LA. But uh, uh, Vegas is not far from LA, and they were going to turn that into the new Hollywood. They were Warner Brothers was going to build something in Vegas, and she was talking about that. She said like in the mid to I think the late '90s, early 2000s. But she said by that time the corporations were already moving the mafia guys out.
The junk bonds had came through,
Mm-hmm.
the dot com had came through,
Mm-hmm.
and they used technology to get rid of, you know, the
What
mob,
what what the mafia pretty much already had in place.
which is crazy because Vegas was never the same.
Yeah.
That personal touch, the human experience, all of the stuff that was involved, all of that died off. And then the next thing you know, it just became a lot more just business machines, and, taking advantage of the people that came through. There was no more of that great customer service. There was no more of that great customer experience. It just became about parties and shows and, what entertainer they could trap up into coming to sell their soul to the strip, who they could take
Yeah.
advantage of and use. Um,
They
there
really
was a lot going
corporatized
on there.
it.
Yeah.
It was somewhat family friendly to a degree. It still is, but it like I'm just saying like as far as it was just better. Vegas was way better back in the day versus you go there now. It's basically a ghost town. Um, yeah, yeah.
Well, I mean,
And
they're
shout out
doing
to Kat for
reports on
putting
it.
that episode in the chat. If you want to check out that episode with Sean Kelly and Sophia Stewart, it's a really good episode. She's dope. We got to tap back in with the good sister.
Yeah, we do. Um, so here we are. We have all of this going on. And what I find interesting is they can make mention that the mafia is involved, but they made no mafia arrests. They only arrested players.
Right. Yeah. And in this article, it basically said the mafia is less visible but still alive. The mob shrunk considerably since the days of John Gotti when he ran the Gambino family. But one of the most powerful, feared crime organizations in the U.S. But back then, uh, Gotti smiled, waved at courthouse spectators, and went in the moniker the Teflon Don from New York's tabloid newspaper after a string of acquittals. So he was like yeah, that's why they call it Teflon Don. But they basically
And
just
even
talked
he
about
went
how
down. And even
yeah,
he went down in the
Rudy
end.
Rudy Giuliani, yeah, you use the racketeering, the RICO laws. They carry life sentences. Um,
You want to
and
know what's funny? They
what's
used
that?
it to handle up on the mob, but they won't use it to handle up on hip hop,
Hey, that's why I would look.
which
No,
is
no, no.
so funny.
This is where I was gonna go. This is where I was gonna go. No, we can go. Let's go. Let's go.
You want to know what my opinion is? The short, the short stack version,
Go ahead.
because they can control Black Americans. They couldn't control the Italians. That's my opinion.
Right. Right. No, you're right. You're right. The mafia had their code of silence and the uh, life sentences that they were getting with that code of silence tied in with the racketeering, the RICO laws. It sent a lot of made men um, to prison for a long time, and the mob structure was built around social clubs. And then around that time it got dismantled pretty much for the most part. And Gotti got convicted, and he passed away in 2002 while he was serving his life sentence. Um, so they basically said the structures changed, the leadership's changed, the methods of governance have changed. They're still around because there's still people to be fleeced. It's not nearly as centralized, as open, as organized. That's what one of the one person said, and that goes into what's going on right now with the situation with uh, the NFL. I mean, I'm sorry, not the NFL, the NBA, and how they tied in these players and the high end poker games. It was mobsters posing as ordinary players at tables, and they were providing the muscle to collect debts. This is what prosecutors said. So victims, including one person who lost $1.8 million, were drawn to these games. Usually Texas Hold'em. Uh, I got to learn how to play that, I guess. That seemed exclusive because former professional athletes played at the tables too. So you see how they're bringing in the NBA players. So, but federal officials, the prosecutors actually, I'm sorry, in Brooklyn, say the ex-athletes and all the other players were in on the ruse, using technology to rig the outcome. The technology included corrupted automatic shuffling machines that read cards and predicted which player had the best hand. Some players on the scheme wore special contact lenses or eyeglasses that could read marked cards. These advantages were augmented by hidden cameras in the poker chip trays and light fixtures, along with an X-ray table that read cards that were faced down. So this is the results of surveillance uh, received off of an offsite operator who relayed the information to a quarterback or a driver at the table, who signaled to the other cheating players what to do with their hands by tapping their chin or his arm or black chips. Sometimes prosecutors said in one court document, the corrupt players tried to coordinate how to lose purposely on occasion to keep the victim at the table for longer or to avoid suspicious of cheating. And I'm gonna stop after this. This is a text from Big Mikey to another person who was in on the scheme. Read, guys, please let him win a hand. He's in over 40K in 40 minutes. He'll leave if he gets no traction. This was according to papers. This ain't this ain't just cheating. I mean, this is a whole
That's how
nother
we used to.
level.
This is how we used to run. Actually, no, it really is on a whole nother level. This is how you run poker games. I was doing this when I went to college for that short while.
Mm,
Old school,
okay. Wow.
old school,
Wow.
old
I
school
mean,
was better with better cheats. The machinery that they have and stuff like that. All of that's great, but this is nothing new. Like I'm sitting here listening to you say this, and I'm just like, oh, they're doing the same old. Okay, and
yeah.
getting players to. You want to know what trips me out? I don't know what it is with black celebrities, but you give them a mobster, and instantly they are just they're blown away. They're
I'm
blown away.
sorry. You say you
It's
give
so
them a celebrity?
yeah, or a black mobster. I mean, you give black people, a mobster or a celebrity, and they're all just, all of these celebrities, they romanticize the culture so much, and they don't even realize that they're looked at as nothing more than prey.
Exactly.
You know, they
I'm
don't
um I'm
they don't
I'm sorry. I was
care.
trying to pull up. I was trying to pull up this image of Jay Leno, but it ain't coming up
Mm-hmm.
properly. Because when you mentioned celebrity, I was like, remember I said, oh, I'm gonna pull up this thing about Jay Leno. Let me try to resend this. Um, yeah, when you got celebrities, and I bring up celebrity because I remember there was an incident that happened where Jay Leno um, uh, fell allegedly, right?
Mm-hmm.
Ever since this incident, now everybody's looking at this like, uh, I don't know if that was Jay Leno falling. That was probably something else. Um, and you look at it, it's like, you start reading what's going on in these court documents and stuff like that. It looks like it's something else. I mean,
You're
I'm not
never gonna
accusing Jay
get that.
Leno of
You're
gambling.
never gonna get them to admit it. You will never get them to admit anything ever, 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 ever.
I know.
You want to know what's wild? How these fixed poker games turned into fixed basketball games. Because see what it sounds like
Right.
is that people started losing beyond their means. And then the next thing you know, they're into them. They're in for the
Yeah.
cash. And guess what? They can't go to the bank and take the money out.
Right. Right.
They can't go if you lose $1 million in an illegal card game, you can't just go to the bank and take that money out. You have to explain what you're taking that amount of money out for. It. Not only that,
Exactly.
all of those bills are marked. Even if you make a wire transfer, if it's not for some kind of legitimate business deal, it's going to flag the transaction. You
Right.
can't handle it that way. But guess what? If somebody fixes a game and someone throws a game and then someone decides to bet on the game and then ooh, and yada yada yada. See, that's different. And
Hmm.
guess what? That doesn't just benefit the person that you owed, but it benefits everybody else that they share that tip with.
Yeah.
Now they get to get money off of that tip.
Mm.
Think about it.
No, I got you.
If you have the information that you got a surefire player inside the game that's going to help throw the game, that's going to injure themselves before they go out, which they know is going to change the stats.
Hmm.
That's very, 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 very valuable information.
Yes. Yes.
And if you're a true greedy bastard, well, then it's real simple. You tell all of your people that are going to bed on this to go to their bookies with this. And you get a piece off of all of that action. They made a lot more money than they said they made. And they made a lot more
Right.
money than the government will be able to track.
Right.
The point is
Exactly.
this: we're supposed to believe no referees were involved with this either. No
I
refs.
mean, come on now. Look, the key individuals right now that they're referring to. So, this is as of yesterday, October 23rd. So the arrests were announced of current and former NBA figures, and they included Terry Rozier, the Miami Heat player, and Chauncey Billups. Uh, he's a Portland Trailblazer coach, and also 34 other indicted individuals in this action. So the indictments allege that some were betting schemes involving rigged poker players, collection of rape from pots, and manipulation of outcomes tied to NBA related events. I threw in Gilbert Arenas because I think I made a joke when he got arrested in July of 2025. You and I, we did a little quick live about it real quick because I mentioned his fiance or wife. I think that's his wife now. What's her face? Melanie Monaco.
Hmm.
But he was charged in July with running an illegal high stakes poker business from his Encino, California mansion between September of 2021 and July of 2022. So they charged him with conspiracy to operate an illegal gambling business, operating an illegal gambling um, business, and making false statements to federal investigators. They'll probably get him with that. I don't know, but
He was the
um,
weak link that they needed so that they could be able to topple over everything else. What I find interesting, though, is that what they toppled over, what they really got, were the players. They
yeah.
got the
See,
players.
so
And guess
that's
what?
what I was gonna.
These players are not going to snitch on anyone from organized families. They're not going to do it.
Not at all. No, no, no.
They're not going to do it.
I know. See, so Arenas reportedly he's denying being an informant for the FBI in connection with this whole larger NBA gamble probe.
You want to
With
know what I
his
find funny? Why in
what
God's name does people think when they're asked questions like this that they're going to tell the truth?
right? Why? So his scheme, and that's why I
Are
brought up
you
that whole race
are you
thing.
a rat? Did you snitch? Absolutely not. That's going to be the first thing they're going to do is lie. Matter of
That's
fact,
funny.
any of these people that you ask any of this stuff, they're going to lie.
That's funny because Murad was just like, I never knew that Al Sharpton was a snitch, and it's like, yeah, everybody knew that. And then I think there was a clip where Al Sharpton was like, I am not a snitch, and it's like, well, there's documents that you were CI number 7, and you snitched on some. Uh, you helped get was Mike Tyson's former manager.
What's the matter?
No, no, not the manager. I'm sorry, the promoter, Don.
Oh, Don, yeah, Don, Don,
Uh,
not Don
yeah, y'all.
Cornelius. You know, Don
Yeah,
King.
Don King. Y'all know who we talking about. He snitched on him. He snitched on some prominent Italian mobsters. Yeah, Don
Yeah.
King. Yeah. So, but he never admitted that. That's what. But there's documentation that that's what he was. So yeah. But they said Arenas, and I'm gonna just say this for the record. He's reportedly denying being an FBI informant in connection with this larger
Yeah.
NBA gambling probe. But his
We gonna see
scheme,
if his face look anything like Jay Leno's face in the near future. We gonna see.
right? Because his scheme, and it was featured what pot limit Omaha poker games, with the players paying a rake fee either as a percentage of each hand or fixed fee.
What I
So, and
remember
they
him
talked
saying
about,
when he got popped was is that he wasn't worried about it because
I
he
know,
had a plan. That's what he
I know,
said. I ain't
I
worried
know.
about it. I'm not worried about it. He said he wasn't worried about it at all. I don't know not one black man, even Diddy, was concerned about the feds. I don't know one black man that got the feds looking at him and he ain't scared unless he one of them.
Yeah,
You
man.
don't
And
come out smiling unless you got to deal with them. It's just that simple.
yeah, when he came out and he said, I said, ooh, y'all go back to my live back in late July. I said, ooh. And I said, I'm gonna leave it alone. But this came up and I thought of him and I said, yeah, let me say something. But um I was just talking to my boy about just the integrity of the NBA, the league, and all that, and the reputation. Now it's really under strain because he was like, you think the NBA, and he was talking about the NFL too. And I was like, man, I don't put nothing past nothing. But um, when players and coaches are implicated in gambling and stuff like this, the public trust takes a hit. I mean, that's basically it. The involvement in organized crime networks and large sums of money raises questions about how well the league monitors off court behavior and how betting integrity safeguards are functioning. Now, don't get it twisted. These people that are in the NBA that run the NBA, they probably knew of this whole thing because I'm telling you, somebody went to the league. I went to high school with Jeff Trepanier. I think he ended up going to USC. I don't think he did. He play professional. I forget. I didn't follow him like that. But they be knowing who you hang with. But when you get out of high school, like they know who you with. And they know your pedigree. They know who you are. So don't think the NBA. I think it's like you say. They're gonna squeeze the players. They're gonna squeeze the blacks. That's pretty much what it is. They're gonna squeeze the blacks, and they're gonna see who gonna be talking because it's heavier and it's higher up than what people think. Like you're saying, Jag, it's higher up. It goes way higher than what people are seeing. What the news is putting out and
My
who they're
Kia,
showing
there
being
is
arrested.
no sports, there is no form of organized sports that I've ever heard of that isn't corrupted. None, none.
Yeah. How deeply?
I used to bet college sports, so I know. And I was bad. I had a bad betting addiction. I put myself in a lot of bad situations when I was younger. And I'm telling you, I learned how to bet from old Italians who taught me how to bet. You want to make sure you win, you got to get in the game. You got to get in the game. And when I say get in the game, that means you need to know which girls they like
Mm,
so you can make sure that the night before the
mm,
game they put something in their drinks and make sure that those
mm,
knees is weak. So once you're betting on the point spread and you know the VIG is going to be high, you know who to trap up and put into debt with the bookies, and you know how to make book and better. You need to be talking. You need to be looking at the weather, seeing what the weather looks like. Are they on grass? Are they on astroturf?
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Who's the referee? Who's making the calls? Like I said, I used to be very involved, and I'm telling you right now, it's it's deeper than what people think. It's so much deeper than what people think, and yeah, you can't win that part.
You
Um,
can't win. You
you know,
can't break even or get out the game.
it's just funny because people look at these sports and they don't realize that these players are hostages.
Yeah.
They're
40,
hostages.
there's a book called $40 Million Slave. Look it up.
They're hostages, and people consider this a good way of life. But
It's not.
if you came up in the projects and your mama wants to make it out and your family wants to do this, it's no different than Rihanna being 15 years
Oh,
old, shipped off to the
oh.
United States, and it's no different. It's no different than Michael Jackson, being
Mm-hmm,
worked like a dog. You know what I mean? Starting from the age of 9 and 10. It's no different than Macaulay Culkin being taken advantage of to the point where he can actually sit back and say, "My father's a monster," and he allowed me to
mm-hmm.
be abused for the contracts that we were getting. It's no
Right.
different. I don't understand why nobody wants to believe what's going on. But what I did find interesting is when Sammy the Bull did his interview with News Nation, not only did he
Mm-hmm.
not say anything,
Boom.
not only did he not say anything, the one thing that he did say was is if the government tries to move forward with a RICO on this like they did with Diddy, they were going to lose it just like they lost the RICO with Diddy. You know, like I said, how is it that people seem to be so convinced? Why is it that all of these RICO statutes are going up? Because it seems like the only time the government is interested in using the RICO statute is when it comes to an organization that can beat it.
Right.
it's like um, when you talk about voting and you think your one vote counts, but no, there's super PACs that go behind certain candidates and stuff like that. That's included as well. The finance side of it. So the power that you got behind, you could talk all this stuff all you want and all that, but the law ain't gonna really work for you because you ain't paying the right people. Let's just keep it a buck. Let's keep it a one. Keep it 100. Um, yeah, and they're not gonna go after nobody else but these unprotected because these players and I'm gonna pivot to what you said about hip hop too because I'm gonna touch back up on that. But these players and these coaches and these referees, they're not protected, not at all. Let me raise a question, but I'm gonna say something real quick. I'm gonna get a little esoteric, a little bit. You remember the movie Back to the Future Part Two? Remember Back to the Future
Mm-hmm.
Part Two?
Yeah, the casino.
Yeah, Biff Tanner, right?
Mm-hmm.
That was supposed to have been like Donald Trump. If you guys,
Mm-hmm.
y'all got to pay attention to how Hollywood works and these occultists, how they be putting stuff out there, and they can, go into the future and stuff like that and read stuff, and they know, Biff Tanner back in the '50s was this punk, and he was punking Marty McFly's dad and stuff, and then in part two, the old Biff Tanner met the younger Biff Tanner, gave him a gambling book. No, an almanac, right? A sports almanac.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how he became rich. And then when Marty came back to the future, and ironically, it's like, what, 2025 or something like that, right? 2025, I don't know, something like
Mm-hmm.
that. It was like this year.
Yeah.
Uh, his family was jacked up, and Biff Tanner was like president, and just it was wow. And he had money, and he was just powerful, like Trump. And
And
he
guess
had the
what?
Trump aesthetic,
And guess what? Had a casino
right?
and the town was suffering, and everybody was poor.
Right.
Maybe that's what they was doing over there at Times Square. Maybe they watched Back to the Future and realized they ain't want Jay-Z to bring that casino over there. They don't know Rock Nation bring that casino and turn it into Back to the Future too, because they was all poor. Everything was a mess. Their mom was running around with her bosoms out and
Right.
looking a hot
Looking
record, but
like Britney
it was
Spears, huh?
just ugh. Mm.
But anyway, quick question: how deeply entrenched is the gambling economy in sports? In professional sports. How much is known but unaddressed?
You got peanut butter and you got jelly. Now you got a
Oh
peanut
shit!
butter sandwich. You can
Oh
have a
shit!
jelly sandwich. But when you put the peanut butter
True,
and jelly together, the
true,
taste is undeniable.
true. You put some bananas in there, you got a peanut butter jelly banana sandwich. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That was fun. Jag, you funny as hell. But back to what you said about they. What did you say? They couldn't do this with hip hop. They couldn't.
Mm.
The government couldn't put all these resources into rounding up bad actors in hip hop. Is that what we said? Is that what you said?
It's real simple. What they're doing with the NBA right now is exactly what should have happened with hip hop when they arrested Diddy. It's exactly
Mm,
what should have happened.
mm.
There's no reason what they're doing with the NBA right now couldn't have happened with hip hop. And the truth is, they could have made an easy segue to the NBA regardless with Mr. Ain't No Party Like a Diddy Party.
Yeah. Right.
While LeBron James is sitting there on camera and Diddy's children are sitting there in the background talking like, hey, thanks, champ.
Right.
While the kids were there. They could have
See,
done
let me
this very
you
easily. The funny thing is who decides the detours?
Right.
See, let's think about this. There's some form of protection going on.
Right.
And meanwhile, if they let LeBron James duck this lineup, that's more telling than anything.
There's a hierarchy with the boule. Let's just say it like that. I'll just say it like that. There's a hierarchy. There's a
But brothers from hell,
oh shit. Yeah, well, there's a hierarchy when it comes to the boule, the boulezi. Um,
there's
and
no
let me
way in the world that a guy that's this much involved, who had the ability to let everybody know every time LeBron James got injured how to bet,
right.
and LeBron James didn't know anything about it. Mister, I do my triangles and I do a whole ritual before I run out onto the basketball court and you know,
Like it's just normal.
like it's just no, and don't nobody say nothing, and everybody just watch him. They watch him literally do satanic offering and ritual every time he's about to get on the court,
Mm-hmm.
and nobody says anything, and
Mm-hmm.
nobody does anything. I'm just trying to figure it out. Or do we have to wait for them to turn one of their sons into a daughter before we're willing to accept exactly what LeBron James is? Like I said, I remember when they were ushering him in. I remember when he sold his soul. I remember when it happened. They were all talking about it. We finally got a basketball player. We got our guy. They were all so excited about it.
Hey Debbie, appreciate you.
I don't think anyone is really paying attention to what's going on here. What I am going to say is this. I bet you in all of the arrests that they make, none of them will be Italian.
Yeah, that was I was gonna land on that. What we got to do is watch for additional indictments. I'm gonna watch for the NBA responses. We're gonna see if there are gonna be any policy changes. Yeah, and yeah, I guarantee you, there's not gonna be any Italianos or there was some Peruvian, I believe Peruvian mob members, mob family included in that whole little situation too.
You want to
But
know what
here's
else I
what
find interesting too?
was that.
There was a lot more people in the government that partied with Diddy than showed up
Mhm,
to these
mhm,
illegal gambling events. I'm sure.
mhm, mhm, mhm. Yep, yep. Like I said,
I ain't
y'all,
gonna
look
go
look
no
at this.
further than that.
Look at the picture of Jay Leno, y'all. They said he was at a double tree. The rumors was he was going to go pick up some strange, and they said he fell off on the side of a hill. But I think he didn't pay some side of a bill, and there's in the court records there's alleged um mafia individuals the muscle will come and do stuff like this. They'll bust your side of the face. They won't necessarily hurt you, but
It looks like he
they'll
got
get you
hit in the head with a bat.
right.
That's what it looks
See,
like.
and I'm not saying that that's what happened to Jay Leno, y'all. I'm just saying I'm pointing out something. This happened a long time ago, y'all. I'm just pointing out some stuff that y'all should be looking at, like, oh, see, because they're talking about all the black basketball players, all the black coaches, and they're not going to talk about anybody of the other color because y'all got to realize the agenda. And now, look, I'm gonna say this, y'all. I know a lot of people were
Ain't
getting.
none of them gonna snitch or rat because they don't want no Italians showing up at their girlfriends' spots in their kids' schools,
That and see, that's the thing.
picking their
All those
wives up
players,
from from
all those
from a
players,
shopping event.
all those players were sitting there gathering a mass amount of followers and money and attention and fame, but they were not amassing power and organization. That's what's wrong. You understand what I'm saying?
They're not supposed to have it.
Right, but see, they that's where you would have me hoofed up. Um, and I'll say this because I think I'm gonna flip it over to the hip hop side because we're gonna
If the
transition and talk
government,
about.
if the government thinks that this NBA bust is going to be enough to make up for no Epstein list and no Diddy Rico, they sadly mistaken.
No, they see. Look, here's what I'm gonna go with it. Cash Patel, and I hate to say it, I'm not gonna dog them out like that, but I know Indians. Now, shout out to my Sri Lankans. I love my Sri Lankans. They're cool. Um, but Indians, a lot of them sometimes are anti-black. I'm not saying that Cash Patel is, but it looks like someone's trying to um, cater to a base of some sort. So the Diddy thing didn't pan out the way it should have worked out. And there's no mention of the Epstein list or those none of that is going on right now. So the next pivot is to get at these NBA players. I'm sure there's so many NBA former players, current players, coaches are shaking in their boots right now because they're like, I'm sure they all have attended something, and this is almost like the Diddy party for the
I
NBA.
If they don't got a ref, if they haven't arrest, if they don't arrest a referee in the next week, it's all fixed.
Right,
In my opinion,
right.
no way
And
get
see, the thing
around it.
is this, and I say this, and I'm not like I said, I'm not getting at Cash Patel, I'm not getting at the FBI or anything like that. I'm saying you're gonna produce justice, produce it for everybody. Go after and show everybody. So if you got NBA players who were on some crooked stuff, and you want to plaster their face, cool. Also plaster the mob associate, the muscles, and the others that were there too. Show them. Um, I know a
Only
lot of
thing I
people
got to
gave.
say about it, Cat, is has anybody ever seen the movie Mississippi Masala?
Oh, so you're talking about anti-blackness. Ugh, yeesh. I don't
Has
want to go there,
anyone
y'all.
ever seen the movie Mississippi Masala?
I do not want to go there, y'all. I don't. I ain't gonna go
I'm
there.
just asking if anybody's ever seen that movie.
And that was a good movie. Shout out to Denzel.
Denzel Washington and the original Priyanka Champra.
Oh,
What
the
was
dark
her
skinned sister.
name?
Yeah, I forgot her name.
Yeah, she's been around for quite some time. She's
Yeah,
aged pretty
she's a
well
good
too.
she's a good actress. I forgot her name. She's good.
Oh my goodness,
Yeah, Kat, you got
she's
to
been
check out that
around a
movie.
long
It's a
time.
really good movie. It
Well,
was from like the 90s, 80s. No, it was the 90s. It was the
I think
90s,
it was the very
early
early.
90s.
Hold on a second. Let me pull it up. You need to see this movie
You got to check it out.
for those who want to understand. And it's no hate.
Yeah. No,
It's
like I
no
said, I got
hate.
love. I got love for my uh Indians.
It came out
I'm
1991.
91. Yep, early 90s. Yep.
It came
Yep.
out
It kind of it was
1991.
around the color purple time. Yeah. It was around that time.
Okay, and
But yeah,
it
I got
was
love for my.
Sarita Chandri.
Oh yeah, somebody put that in the chat. Yep, that was it. And like I
Yep.
said, I got love for my Indians. Uh, I don't think people really understood Mahatma Gandhi was anti-black because he didn't even fight for the Dravidians in his country, and they literally got ished on.
Let me
Uh,
sum up the movie. No spoiler alert. You should still watch it, but it's very Hadley. It's very Hadley esque. Oh, and this is the thing that trips me out. Hello, are you still there? Are we
I'm here.
here?
I'm here.
This is the thing that trips me out. People don't want to be called out or, pointed out. And I get that. I understand. But at the end of the day, when are we going to look at humanity and just really, really, really take into consideration that bigotry and separatism has become a way of life on so many different levels all over the globe? It doesn't matter what country it is. Bigotry and separatism, and it has been monetized and it has been used and weaponized in politics. Um, when
Yeah,
Cash Patel first got appointed, we were told that he was being put into position to go after a lot of things that uh, we are very impassioned about and that we've been very vigilant about. And don't get me wrong, I know how it works in government. Sometimes it's just six in one hand, half a dozen in the other. But until we start addressing the real issues, this is all nothing but theater. It's theater. This I'm sitting here looking at this and it's like the NBA and gambling, the NBA, the NBA and gambling. Who gives a shit? Really? You know? Like seriously, who gives a shit about the NBA and fucking gambling? We have so many children that have gone missing. See, if this is going to be their way to figure out how the hell a girl like Celeste Rivas Hernandez ended up cut up in a car, if it's going to end
yeah,
up, if it's going to get us there, then, I can get on board for that. Um, if it's going to get us on board to how there are so many victims of SA, so many victims of traffic jamming, so many victims of all of these things that are right there out there in front of our faces that are brought up in the entertainment industry. Okay, then I can get on board.
yeah,
If it's going to get, because as far as I'm concerned, this, it masks that. Um, I'm so sick and tired of us talking about worthy causes that everybody else ignores. I'm tired of it. I'm super duper duper freaking tired of it because some of the
yeah.
stuff that we've learned about since we've been on the Cordello Smith case,
Mm-hmm.
So many of the things. Anna King, her ex-husband, also in sports, also has a background in sports betting, illegal sports betting, also has a background in throwing games in the NHL.
Yeah.
You know that, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Evander Kane has been
Yeah.
accused of doing the very things this whole royal flush operation business is about.
Yeah.
So they doing it in hockey. They they doing it in you know in basketball. Um, everybody is long since suspected they've been doing it in football. Does anybody talk about all of those children who they bring from overseas to come over here to play baseball? A lot of foreign kids who get brought over here without parental supervision. And not all of them make it back home, and not all of them make it to the league. Where do they
Right.
go?
Right.
Where do they go? Sometimes they bring half a town's worth of kids from these third world countries over here to swing a bat, and maybe 5% of them make it to the MLB.
Yep. Yep. Yeah. If right now, the production of justice, you say you can't hear, Jag, are you there? Oh, what I'm talking. Are you okay? Um, I don't know what happened. Yeah. Can y'all hear me? Mic check. 1 2 1 2. Can y'all hear me? I said they can hear. Oh, well, try to log back on. Yeah. I don't know what happened. Yeah. I guess she dropped off, but something maybe happened with the phone. Uh, so look, check it out. I was just basically saying if it wasn't if no justice is being produced, then it ain't really much to talk about or do for real. So that's all I'm about, the production of justice. We gonna produce justice, or we gonna produce nothing. Um, I was gonna get into the whole thing of, you know, if Diddy is possibly talking too, but I don't even want to go there because I don't even want to talk about speculation. I'm just so very, very disappointed in a few outlets, TMZ, who were caping for Diddy this week. And, they ran with some recycled stories saying that he was going to get out and he was going to get a pardon and he was going to get a commuted sentence and this and that. And that was all cap. They also ran with something about him getting possibly assaulted, talking about he was gonna, possibly had a knife pulled on him. Yeah, 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 yeah. Again, even what we're talking about with this whole situation with the NBA is just another distraction. So they move from the Diddy distraction to the dribble distraction. Um, and it's just, yeah, yeah. Like you said, it's all lies. It's all BS. I think what's going on though is they, like I said, they moved on. They said, all right, well, we need something else because we're definitely not going to produce any justice for this Epstein file situation. Let's talk about this, and everybody's into sports. And yeah, I'm done. I'm not going to be dealing with football or whatever because again, another distraction. Um, yeah, exactly. It was always something every day, Coley, for real. Just distraction, distraction, distraction. And again, yeah, the important. And you say what they're distracting you from is from you. Yeah, go plant some food. Go help out the old lady down the street. I saw a TikTok of a nurse who was working at a convalescent home, bunch of old people, and she put the food out there for the older gentleman, and he's kind of feeble, doesn't really move too much. Then she came back the next day. His food was still there. He didn't touch that food for a whole day. He was too weak to like eat it on his own. No, none of his family members came to see him. That is sad. You got people out here suffering like that. Like old people, they got family, but they got them put away in a convalescent home. Like we need to be really taking care of each other though. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to sound all preachy like that, but they're distracting us from our humanity. You're back.
Yeah. Um,
Your
I
phone
don't
went
know.
hot.
It just got hot.
Yeah, yeah. See, this one's gonna get. Let me see. Yeah, it gets. See, they be turning the heat up. I
Yeah,
see.
but I don't
Everybody left after.
understand
Everybody left
why.
after Jag left. Go ahead.
I don't understand why though. That don't make no sense. It didn't have no reason to be hot like that.
Yeah, no, my phone gets hot like that too. It's crazy.
I'm telling you, I think they be doing it. I think it's something with the juice, with
Yeah, yeah,
with
yeah.
the streams. I think.
Well, that's why I said I got you that other SIM card. You got to just get you another phone. We're gonna have to upgrade the little phone situations anyway. Yeah, them iPhones be phoning. No, I was basically breaking down the whole situation about the distraction and how the real distraction is the distraction from you, from yourself, from you. And I said, there was a TikTok that I saw where a nurse was at a convalescent home and she was crying because she had an elderly patient who was like kind of feeble. She left food for him, and she left the food for him. And the next day she came back, the food wasn't touched. He didn't move. He was so weak that he couldn't eat. And it's like no, none of his family checked on him um, to make sure. Like it's messed up. I mean, my grandmother was in a convalescent home, so I remember being a little kid going in there just seeing all these sickly elderly people. And I was just like, yeah, this is messed up. But the distraction is from us to keep us from our humanity. Like we should be, like I said, just producing justice, rescuing kids if we can, helping old people. And like I said, I'm not trying to sound, you know, but that's just the reality of things. They're distracting us from our real humanity. That's the real thing. Who gave up $20? Oh man, thank Gret Fresby. Oh man, you always coming through. The world is created in defiance of nature. People have been programmed to be the same. Almost seems the nefarious you are, the more money and fame you get. Oh man, salute. I appreciate that. I'm sorry, I didn't even read that. I'm about to take your $20 and go to the dope spot. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I don't even know why you tell jokes like that.
I'm sorry. Y'all know I'm
I
stupid,
don't.
right? Y'all, this dude, y'all know I'm joking, right? Like I don't even smoke dope. Y'all
You want to know what's wild? You just said that, and then you broke out into that cough.
Yeah, I know my Bobby Brown um
See,
smoker
there
cough, huh?
right now, there's some weirdo stalker streamer who is sitting there grabbing that soundbite. So, oh yeah, we got evidence. Did you hear the way he started coughing right after he said he don't even believe his own lies? My God.
It's all jokes. It
I
you can't
I
take
know it's all
every.
I know it's all jokes. They know it's all jokes. But you know what? When somebody takes that one clip and plays it over and over and over again for an hour,
Oh,
but I ain't gonna
right, I got
scold
you.
you.
No, you're right. The
I
weirdos,
ain't
I
gonna
forget.
scold you. I ain't gonna scold you
I
because you
get
know
them.
they're
I'll flame them
watching.
up. No, you're right. Well, damn. Oh man. Hold on, y'all.
Yeah,
I
hold
sound
on, y'all. Hold on,
Smokey
y'all.
Robinson. Hold on. Whew. Okay. Yeah. Well, I ain't tripping. If somebody, the content creator who wants to use my sound bites, his hair look like a dope spot carpet. You know, you go to the dope spot and they look like. No, no, let me shut up. I'm just kidding.
Oh, there's a super
Um.
chat that came in from Alina. Thank you, Alina.
Oh, more dope to smoke. I'm sorry. I'm joking. I helped a young homeless
See,
girl in the park. She later uh she later called me her latte jaguar. Oh, that's cute. She was maybe mentally not there, but I told her about you, the jaguar. Oh, that's appreciate that. Appreciate that. And see, that's what I was telling you, Jag.
hey, quiet one.
See, Cat is laughing because she understands my jokes. A lot of a
I
lot of West
understand your
Coast
jokes
dudes,
too.
a lot of West Coast people understand what I'm talking about. Motherfuckers
I
be
know.
motherfuckers be straight on EBT on
Yeah.
EBT internet, and they house,
B-roll.
I mean, their hair be looking like dope spot carpet.
B-roll. B-roll from Boys in the Hood. I get it.
Oh man. Yeah, yes.
You're kind of breaking up for me. You're going in and out. Hello? I don't know what's going on, but thank you all for all of the support to the channel. I want to thank you guys for sticking in here and being in
Hold
here with
on.
us. We was over a
Now
hundred
I
there
can't hear
for a
nothing.
moment. Now here we are. I can hear you now. Hello? Hello?
Okay. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear
Okay,
me?
I couldn't hear the stream cut off. I was talking
I
about people having
see.
EBT streaming.
Apparently, I'm starting to think that they like doing old school like they used to do with the old school cable boxes, the illegal ones are sending bullets out
They probably
on
are.
fight night. Like I'm starting to feel like they're doing that because we get to talking about certain things and then all of a sudden phones start getting hot, connection starts breaking down. I don't know,
The,
maybe we just keeping it too real.
the dish get hot and you're seeing feds to the spot.
Took me to court, tried to take all I got. Another intricate plot. The said I why you want to stick me for my paper? My low skivo ho, my Versace hottie. Come to find out, she was messing everybody. knew about me. The fake IDs cases in Virginia, body DC. I get the chicken, came out on bail, commenced the ass kicking, licking the door, waving the 4-4. All you heard was Papa don't hear me no more. Disrespect my clique, my shit's imperial. Mess around and make your milk box material. You want to
I
know
heard that
what's
was the
funny?
fake.
You want to know what's funny to me? To hear
What's
people
that?
call to hear people call Big's lyrics positive and inspirational.
Yeah, who would say something like that? I remember I did hear some of that. That was hilarious.
I see the funny thing is I don't think people realize that at that time these were our street poets and they were speaking about what we were experiencing in life, but not even we understood what was really going on
Right,
because it really wasn't about speaking, you know, facts to what was going on out in the streets. It was indoctrinating everyone who listened to that and all the generations who came after that to listen to that to become susceptible to a certain way of thinking and a certain way of being.
right,
It was programming,
right.
you know. But when I think about the way it was it was presented, like gangster rap and all of that, it was presented as a lifestyle, as a culture. And the truth is, there was no culture.
Well,
Trauma,
it was the beginning.
trauma
At that
isn't
time,
culture. Trauma isn't culture.
no. At that time, it was well, it was a culture. It was a I don't want to say well, I'll say a death culture. That's what I'll say. Um, that's what it was at the beginning. But before I would say before 89, 90, really before 91, it was a true culture. X Clan and even think about it, different world, X Clan. Like think about that time.
The
89, 90,
second
91.
that it became accessible to the revolutionary sect, they instantly looked for a way to water it down, destroy it, and then weaponize it. You know, when you go back and you think to the fact that Will Smith was the first rapper to win a Grammy, why? Why? Why was Will Smith the first rapper to win a Grammy? He wasn't the first rapper ever. And the truth is, if anybody should have been the first rapper to win a Grammy, if they was going to use somebody that was compromised, why wasn't it LL Cool J?
Mm,
Like,
mm.
if you were going to use a compromised MC to represent and still manage to keep their agenda in play, it should have been LL Cool J, for real, for real.
LL wasn't as he was
He wasn't
marketable.
he wasn't
He
corny
wasn't as
enough,
corny. He was exactly.
and he wasn't thirsty enough. See,
Oh, there
that's
you
the
go.
problem. That's the problem because Will Smith and them, if anybody remember when they got that first Grammy, these people were being chased by people who they owed money to. The
Yeah.
IRS was coming to get them. They was all kinds of messed up. LL was getting his bread. LL was not he wasn't in that bad predicament.
Nah.
Like I
You
don't
know.
think anybody realized that because listen to me. For to a certain extent, LL Cool J and Will Smith, they suffered from a lot of the same issues in hip hop. Like
Yeah, they
there's
did.
a lot of MCs that never wanted to see. LL Cool J as a real MC or a real rapper. They didn't.
Well,
They
let me
talked about
let
his
me say
commerciality. They talked, listen to me, for all of the people that talk about how much they love the song, I Need Love. Do you know how many rappers gave LL Cool J shit for making that record, calling him soft and saying that he was pandering to women? I'll never forget, I heard an MC once refer to LL Cool J as the hip hop Luther Vandross.
that's funny. That's funny. Wow, that's funny on so many levels. Because I know
Yo,
some stuff about L, but I'm not here to talk about it.
no, but
But
for real.
shout out to LL because Moffler from Uncle Jam's Army. That's my guy, man. Shout out to Moffler. They were one of the first ones to bring LL to LA. But like I said, that's their family. I told you LL got people from Compton, and
LL is
LL
he's originally from
he's from
LA.
Queens. Yeah, exactly. And they just they yeah. So LA posse, all them or whatever. LL though he gets his credit. I never looked at him as like they say the quote unquote goat like that. Just like I don't look at Jay-Z like that. It's like, come on. But I give him his credit, but at the same time, when you listen to like I'm gonna knock you out in comparison to like what Kumo D did, How You Like Me Down, and it was on some like his lyrics were corny. Like as the way I slam, damn, ooh, listen to like that was kind of corny. If you listen to him now, you're like, that was kind of corny, LL. But I mean, I listen to some old shit, I'm like, that was kind of corny too. But I get what you're saying in regards to like how MCs back then were looking at him like they probably were looking at him like how I looked at Soldier Boy. 'Cause I couldn't stand
Mhm.
Soldier Boy, especially when he dissed Ice T. I couldn't stand Soldier Boy, but LL,
Well,
I
he's the
guess he
male
just
Nicki
what
Minaj.
he stood the test of time.
The truth is, LL was more relatable to the culture than Will Smith
Yeah,
was,
definitely.
especially considering he was one of the flagship rappers that came off of Def Jam.
Def Jam. Yeah,
So how did a corny little geek from Philly, who wasn't even respected on the hip hop scene in Philly, end up the first Grammy Award winner of all time?
you know what it is. You know what it is. We ain't got to say it. You know what it is.
Under Quincy Jones's tutelage.
Bingo.
Like I don't think people really take into consideration it's been a rigged game.
Oh, good full circle. Good full circle moment.
It's been a rigged game from jump. They've been picking and choosing their house ninjas from the second that the culture looked like it had the ability to free minds and create dynasties. You know, it's just it's just wild to me. And now look at all of them. You wanna know what's funny? All of the early rap Grammy winners all ended up becoming actors
Yeah. Yep.
for
You're
the
right.
most part.
You're right.
They all ended up becoming actors. Either they got a TV show or they became movie stars.
It's almost like a transitioning phase of this is what
Well, now you can stop acting and now you can get paid for it.
right. Yeah, it's and like you say, that's even a rigged game. but we not gonna go there. Um, look, I gotta let me I gotta get the thing to the electrical guy. The
Yeah.
last 10 minutes, what I'm gonna talk about, since we're talking
Oh,
about rap.
salute. There's a super chat that just came in.
Okay, appreciate it.
Admin,
Hold on,
admin.
appreciate it. Um, let me stop here real quick. The Cash Money No Limit Records versus is popping off tomorrow in Vegas. You see how everything still lands in Vegas. Okay, yeah. LL was used as a template for Mark. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Come on. Feel it, feel the vibration. Yeah, Marky Mark does not like Mark Wahlberg will fight you if you run up on him and start singing. It's just a good vibration. He will fight you. Come on.
I'm gonna knock you out. Mama say knock you out.
Yeah,
Oh
gangsta
my God.
boogie.
The only thing that made that his rap acceptable in that was the track. That was
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Oh, congratulations and happy birthday, Auntie Leah.
Oh wait, you say it's not until
Congrats.
November 25th? I thought it was October. Hold on. Hold on. Wait, are you serious? It says no, October 25th. They probably not gonna release it until next month. That's the funny thing. Give me 1 second. They probably not gonna release it until next month. Yeah, give me 1 second. Let me look this up real quick.
You know,
Yeah, it's tomorrow at Complex Con.
hmm,
People are weird. It could, and you'll be able to. I think on Apple Music you'll be able to stream it.
hmm,
Was it canceled? No, that was the Timberland one. No, that's still no. It's not November 25th. It is October 25th, and it is still going on. Las Vegas Complex Con. Um, yeah, and we'll be able to stream it. I might even stream it. I don't know. We're gonna figure that part out.
do you really want to?
Not really. I'm gonna keep it a buck. I was not a fan of of No Limit. Well, no. I had respect for No Limit, but I wasn't a big fan of him. I liked Mystical. Of course, Mystical started out. He was on Jive. He wasn't on No Limit. And
No.
then, that first album he
They
had,
picked
Y'all
him
Ain't
up.
Ready,
They picked him up after he got dropped from Jive.
from Jive. Right.
I started following Mystical when he was on Jive. I thought he was hella talented.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
him and Twista around the same era, the same time.
Right. Right.
They both had very, very, very unique styles. They were very interesting in some way. I lost I lost respect for Mystical when he started catching all of those cases hurting women. And when he got signed, I was like, I get it. It's cool. I'm kind of happy for him to a certain extent, but he didn't stop hurting women. So I hate when that happens. I hate when you have somebody who you're genuinely interested in and you're looking forward to supporting them, and then you find out some things about them and then you realize what's really going on and it changes everything. I mean, honestly, personally, for me, I'm just trying to figure out how they gonna have a versus when baby got dementia. Like, is it really a good idea for them to be doing the verses with the dementia?
Yeah,
Can
not
he
really.
like? Can he
It's
remember?
he's go. I
Like,
mean, I hate for them to go. When they do stay fly, still fly.
no, I'm just saying. I mean, he get on stage and he start. They want to do his verses. He might start singing Wheezy records. I don't know. He got the dementia. He gonna be able to do the verses? This is weird. Versus the geriatric edition. Like, I don't understand. I, baby, 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 the head boss of Cash Money. He has the dementia. He announced it,
Yeah, just
and
conveniently, he just
the
has
question is,
he has dementia all of a sudden.
yeah,
Conveniently,
they said he has it. He got it from all of his years of systemic
a dope smoke.
pharmaceutical abuse.
Yeah. Being at the
But
laying on the dope carpet.
so so what I really want to know is did he have dementia when he married Tony Braxton for 2 weeks so she could sue him for 160 million?
I find it interesting
Because
that
if
all of a
he had the
sudden,
dementia when they got married,
then he's off the hook because he
then
could say
he
he wasn't
he
in his
should
right
be
mind.
able, yeah, he should be able to say that she took advantage of him and marry him under false pretenses
There you go.
and not be liable to have to pay her no alimony or nothing like that because he didn't even know what that mean. For all we know, you know, she told him that, it was a movie and she needed him to
I
play her husband in a movie.
mean, it damn near was. He it seemed like he was he was playing a part for that reality show. That's what it seemed like. She brought him on for. If you really want to talk about it,
I just
but yeah, baby's not gonna remember his lines. You know,
is
Matt,
Master
musical.
P. He can barely breathe talking
Yeah,
in his commercials. Is he gonna be able to make it through his songs?
they gonna have to do all slow songs. Like I hate to see. I would hate to see make him say I hate to see that because that's
But
too much energy.
maybe they'll do it all chopped and screwed. Because when you chop and screw it, it slows it down about what, about 50 BPM.
Yeah. Ooh, I'm a colonel. What is that thing? Yo, that's the big thing. Yo, that's the big thing. Yeah, that'll work. I think that could work.
I don't, between the Fetty Wap abuse over in the No Limit and the God knows what else abuse which spawned dementia. I'm just all of these people got AARP card. I mean, whose idea was it to do a verse?
I don't know. It was obviously a money grab.
A
Um,
money grab or a money laundering grab? I don't understand.
that part too.
I don't, I don't know.
Oh, I always wanted to do this. Check this out. Check this out. I wanted to
That
do
would
this.
be like a versus between like Kumo D and MC Shan.
Y'all know, make him say right. Y'all know, make him say right. And
You want
everybody
to
know
know
what
what's
this is,
sad?
right? Everybody know this song, right? Let me pause it so I don't get a strike.
Uh,
Um,
uh, uh,
do everybody know what that
uh,
song is?
uh, uh.
Hold on.
Yeah. Yeah,
What
unfortunately,
what
Will
what they
Smith and
what they
Carlton.
what do you think they what song got that they got that from? Hold on. You know the hold on. Eh, y'all know where that come from? Do y'all know where that come from?
Uh,
Or do you know where they got make them say from? Where they got that from, right? That's, that's from that sample. They just flipped it. So shout out to Beats by the Pound. They still are dope. I give them they props. If I wanted to really go versus, I go to production. And Beats by the Pound versus Manny Fresh, it's a tie. I just like New Orleans beat
my
producers. You get what I'm
cousin
saying?
used to say that before he would, when he had to go to the bathroom.
He would say what? Make him say, huh?
Oh, nah, 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 nah. Yeah, he used to do that. That was really embarrassing. But he did it.
Well, at
He
least he
did
made
it.
it. Some people didn't make it.
He would do that. Make it say, oh, nah, 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 nah.
But
He used to do that. And go to the. I gotta go to. That was his bathroom. So,
yeah, that part of the
uh,
record, they took that of the Apache. Oh, 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 Yeah, I don't got money on who's going to win though. Um,
they all
they
gonna
might just
win.
give it the cash money.
They all gonna win. Listen to me. They just need to let them all win and treat it like the Special Olympics. Everybody win. Let everybody win. I mean, shoot, if baby really got dementia, he ain't gonna remember who won or lost anyway. So
You know, he
everybody
always
get a
be like,
stick,
huh?
everybody get a card.
You know that song about Juvenile, huh? He gonna be like, huh, huh, huh? Let me stop clowning, baby.
Got him.
You know, I hope that he isn't suffering because if he does have dementia, but if he did what he did when I saw them documentaries, allegedly them peoples and some unalivements, it's kind of like all I can say is hope God got you. And you get
Why?
what you get. You get what you get. I'll just say it like that. You get what you get. I ain't never
I think
unalive nobody, so
I think the most grace he gonna get is being able to wiggle away from Tony Braxton's money grab.
right.
Because if I was him, I'd be filing for an annulment immediately, based on the fact that I was mentally impaired when this woman tricked me into marrying her for 2 weeks so she could rob me of $160. I am a man with an impaired mind and judgment.
There you go.
I'd have a nurse there and everything. They could talk about that. That could be seasons 15 through 40 for the Braxton.
Man,
Hmm. I'm just, I don't know. In all honesty, I'm not excited. Versus was cool during the demic. You know, any kind of entertainment that we had in our homes was cool during the demic. It allowed us to be connected. The DJ parties that people like, D Nice would throw in and stuff like that. Easy Mo B, he was doing a
hmm
demic DJ
yeah,
party.
yeah,
All of that stuff was nice. It gave people a chance to have a little life in their home. But in my opinion, it should have ended there. When
yeah,
they started monetizing it, putting sponsors on it, and charging tickets for it, I think Versus lost its value.
yeah.
I don't think any of the verses since the pandemic have really been all that great.
No, no.
Because the truth is, all Versus is just a stripped down version of a rap battle.
Pretty much, yeah.
Like it's a rap battle,
And
except
see,
y'all just going record for record for record for record for record. And what's really crazy is now that people are learning how the industry is really working, most of those records was payola.
right,
So the only thing you're doing is going track for track of how you cheated to get ahead.
right.
That's what's
And, and
funny.
what and what's funny is the fact that I hate it when hip hop entrepreneurs sell out because who came up with the idea? Swizz and there's a few other people. I think Swizz was involved. And
Yeah, Swiss was
right,
definitely involved. And,
why
you know,
why not make it an all exclusive hip hop thing? And yeah, they could have made it worldwide, and they could have done it like almost like a Chitlin circuit to a degree. I, I mean, not like that. I understand you'd eat money to, but it's like, come on, y'all. Yeah, like we sell out so quick. We sell out so quick
no, they were
when
looking for a way to make money off of it from jump.
oh, it was
And they were
Timberland too.
making money.
Timberland was
Yeah,
involved. When you said make money, I thought
and
about Timberland.
and they no, but see the thing is they were making money because they had sponsors attached to the whole thing. So it's not like they didn't get paid. It's not like the people who put it together didn't get paid. The people that didn't get paid were the people that participated. It's always the same old same. And my thing is just like, I don't know. I ain't interested. I'm not. I'm not interested in none of this shit. I'm not. I don't want to see no geriatric rappers. I don't want to see no past their prime divas. I'm not. I'm over. I'm over it. Like I want to see art, real art. I don't want to see anything that's staged. I don't want to see anything that's just put together. Like I just I just want to see art. I want to see real art. That's it. Well, guys, I think that's the end of it. I think that's the end of it. Um, so yeah, that's the end of it. And until next time, I think we're gonna be shutting down any moment now.
All right, y'all.
My bad. This my other phone died. I gotta go handle some business. So, we'll be back later though. We'll be back. Appreciate y'all. Peace.